Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours into your edge in the financial world. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about how USDT just printed 1 billion new tokens. So let's dive in and get you prepped for success. Yep. What? It says we're live on yours. I mean, that's just how the fiat game goes, you know? So, a lot of the time, it just depends on where you are in the cycle. It has a lot to do with their liquidity ratios. I don't know all their complex math problems that they have, but I assume that they're pretty efficient because, it stays as a dollar. Um, but when you're in bull cycles, when they are anticipating big buys, you normally see massive amounts of Tether get printed. I know last time, before we kind of boosted up towards 70,000, they printed 2 billion new Tether. So that was right before some massive inflows. Yeah, let me get that switched over. Oh, if it pull up the right thing. There we go. So here's the article on it. We have Tether mints 101 billion, not 100 billion. That would really break things. Sounds like the U.S. government kind of move right there. But stablecoin issuer Tether has minted another 100 billion USDT tokens on the Tron network, bringing the total. Did I? Oop. Hey, I want big inflows. That's my bad. USDT minted in the last year to 33 billion. On August 20th, blockchain data shows that Tether minted 1 billion of its Tether tokens to the Tron network and sent them to its treasury wallet. According to on-chain and analytics platforms Look On-chain, the Tether treasury wallet minted 33 billion in stable coin tokens in the last year. Kind of gets, yeah, it gets a little deeper into it. It's more on the CEO talking about the USD inventory replenish on Ethereum was their last minting. Um, but a lot of the time when they're minting to keep liquidity ratios intact, it is not where you're able to actually buy it. They have their own little wallet, like it was saying up there, and they will release those to the public when they're actually needed, and that keeps things a little stable. But nah, you want your stable coins to be stable and not have massive amounts that you can just buy. Um, I think it's a a nice idea in theory. I just don't think we're fully there yet. You're talking about a very, very, very complex math problem, and I haven't seen a single economy in future or in current or past ever be able to, figure that math problem out and how to make a dollar stable. So I don't necessarily trust it. Yep, yep. Oh, most definitely. And that's why you need something with a little more stable growth over time, which is why you don't want it backed by a single basket of assets. Where it's like a gold stable coin's nice, but you would also need other things to counteract when gold's not doing well. So like you would need a more aggressive asset that's also on a stable growth path, like the S&P 500, which is why tokenized assets are such a giant part of this cycle and their future potential. Yep, I can get that for you. I can, yes. I can move that over to a dual screen if you, yeah. He wasn't ready. Well, I do have another article pulled up if you want to get ready. Yeah, let me get over to that. So I found this article pretty interesting. Um, Came out same day that Canada put their inflation numbers out, and they're doing pretty decent. They cut rates. Uh, I think it was 4 months ago. Um, but you have here U.S. leading economic indicators continue to fall, no longer signal recession. The U.S. recession fears were partly responsible for the early August slide in stocks and cryptocurrency. The leading U.S. economic indicators are still pointing to a slowdown, but now no longer signal a recession. Data from the Conference Board, a nonpartisan and nonprofit research organization, showed Tuesday. There is a positive sign for risk assets, including cryptocurrencies. The organization's leading economic indicators, LEI, declined zero point 0.6 in July to 100.4 following June's zero point 0.2 drop. This measure peaked in the second quarter of 2022 and has been falling ever since, according to the data source, Macro Micro. And then here's the part that I thought was really fascinating. The continued decline in the LEI indicates impending headwinds for the economy. However, the annualized 6-month change narrowed to negative 2.1 in July from negative 3.1 in June, a sign the risk of recession is lessening, which I know that everyone wants to hear. They've been saying we're shooting for a soft landing, and everyone's been waiting for it. And with them not cutting rates, while other countries have cut rates, our dollar has remained a little stronger than others. Where if you pull up like Canada, who has cut rates, their dollar compared to our dollar, it's not as strong. Same with the UK, where we've remained strength because we haven't cut rates. But it also has made things a little more harsh on paying for things when you go to fill up your gas tank, or you get your electric bill, or you see your rent. Those mortgage rates have not been pretty either. So these are the things they've been shooting for, and hopefully we start seeing some of that progress when we get our expected rate cut in September. And I'll toss that over to you, LBC. No. Yeah, I can't. I can't. But you can hear me. Uh, the leading economic indicators. Oh yeah, we've got all set French toaster, Rocky Nose. I can hear you. I don't know why they can't hear you. You're turned all the way up, so I don't know. I don't know why that would be. Yeah, 'cause you're clipping on the mixer, but they're saying they can't hear you.
But hello, hello.
Frenchie
Oh,
says just
I'm live now. I can hear myself on my YouTube. All right. Hey, welcome back. Okay. I think they can hear me now. Let's see. Very, very loud. Very, very loud. They're saying. Get it?
yeah. I'm getting that fixed.
Is it double echo? Okay. Why is that? Why does it keep changing like that? That's so weird.
I resourced the the music for our intros to hopefully fix the double input.
Gotcha. All right. So Bitcoin, we got a where are we at? We got about 17 minutes. All right. All right. So from this high, so the validator stuff, cool. Options, cool. I was gonna go into all that, but we need to get into the actual price action here. Um, I can hear an echo of myself. Hello, that worked. Okay. Excuse me. So from this high to this low, pulled a fib, uh, broke out pretty strong breakout of that 50% level of this fib. Um, been consolidating, of course, for let's see, it's been 12 days so far, almost 2 weeks. Still consolidating underneath that 10-week SMA and underneath the dynamic reactor. Of course, this was our resistance, that dynamic reactor, right at the golden pocket of this range. And we've just been chopping sideways ever since consolidating. So really just starting to really looking for, some green candles to come in here and start pushing us up and above this resistance here. We have this, and there's your consolidation. So looking for that push to the upside, or with the possibility of a rollover and a back test and a continuation to the downside. Um, I'm more favor the bull side right now, until this rolls over. If this rolls over, uh, I'm looking for 42 ish, 42K. Um, just little consolidation range down here, just below that, because we do have some equal lows down here, and that's at about 42K. So let's let's hope we don't have to get there, but we can get there and still be a-okay. But for today, let's go ahead and go down to the smaller term time frames. Let's go down to the 4 hour. Take a look. We are still sitting below that dynamic reactor. And again, we're just, on the higher time frames, we're just waiting for that daily to get back above this high over here at 62.7 and get a close above that. That's what we really want to see. Getting above these equal highs here and here would be key as well. But for today, we have, I believe, the FOMC meeting minutes. Is that correct, BC? I think we do at 2 o'clock.
Yep, coming out at 2 o'clock, and then we'll have a little speech by Fed Chair right afterwards.
Powell's going to speak. Where's he speaking? For what?
Uh, just to give his little sentiment. I I can't remember the name of the place.
Is it like at a conference or something? Or
No, it's just the normal speech after we get the FOMC minutes.
mm, I didn't know he did speeches after the minutes, because the minutes are separate from the FOMC Fed funds rate decision. The minutes is just a summary of the last FOMC meeting, just giving you an outline of what everybody was thinking, all the Fed members were thinking, that led to their decision. For like the last one, it was, they decided to keep it flat, keep it paused. So not flat, but paused. So I wonder what they'll be. I wonder if in the minutes they were talking about cutting it or not, or when they were thinking about cutting. It'll be like it's a transcription of the last FOMC meeting. So we get to see what they were thinking and why they were thinking and all of that stuff. And yeah, I'll be reading it when it comes out. We'll see. We'll see what they were thinking. But for now, we're still stuck in this range. I'm not really seeing much for a swing trade anyway. Um, we do have our momentum coming. I mean, really, it's just sideways. We do have the Chart Prime Oscillators Pro kind of putting in a kind of moving to the upside a little bit here. Yeah. So we can see that the trend ribbon is pushing and kind of pushing to the upside, is getting above that zero line and starting to get a little push off of that zero line. So I I might be getting a little bullish. We did get a nice little sweep, 4-hour sweep here of the previous candle. We can go down to the or we can bring up the Asia sessions, all the sessions, so we can see what we did overnight if it wants to display. Hello, I thought I turned it on, but I didn't. So yeah, Asia. I mean, look at this. New York pushed down yesterday. Um, this is a central bank thing. They consolidated. Asia consolidated. London consolidated. So right now we're just looking for a break. We do have some equal lows down here. So what I would be looking for, honestly, for me, is one of two things. It's either a poke below those equal lows, from which I would look to go long and aim for the top side of this range right here. Let me pull this right there. That's what I would look for, a pull down, touch below those equal lows, and then a push back to the upside, or the exact opposite. I would look for a sweep of the highs and then a come back down to that liquidity down below, to which we could actually get this, and then also immediately following that, get a push to the upside. So that is essentially it, because I see, we've got all of this volume, or all this sell pressure up here, rather. So we could get into all of that, maybe tap that, come back down, sweep these lows, push back to the upside, or just come down here and then just push to the upside. I think one of those two, but either way, I would like to see this push down and then a push up instead of going from up to down. Doesn't really matter. I think I will still be longing from below these equal lows, especially if we put in a bullish divergence or something as we are pushing down there. Bullish divergence based off of either this low here or this low here. And that's where I would be looking for some kind of bull div, whether a basic or a classic bull div or a hidden bull div. One of those two. But yeah, that's what I got for Bitcoin for today. Throwing it back to you, BC.
Had to get myself
We have
unmuted.
8 minutes.
All
So
right.
go over whatever you want to go over, friend.
I didn't really have any asset pulled up. I did have.
What have you been doing in the background?
I did have something on Canada and their
Whoa.
yeah, extra bright. And their inflation data.
Canada?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nah, in a little comparison, I asked ChatGPT if it could summarize the current Canadian inflation situation and how the rate cuts before American rate cuts have led to a swifter recovery, with the possibility of another rate cut happening when we get our first rate cut. So as of August 2024, Canada you got that stuck in my head. Canada's inflation rate has cooled significantly, falling to 2.5%, which is the lowest level seen since March 2021, which we're also at our lowest rate, but our lowest rate right now is 2.9%. So, and this decline in inflation has been driven by lower prices in various sectors, including travel, vehicles, and electricity, although shelter costs continue to exert upward pressure on inflation due to high rents and mortgage payments. Despite these challenges, the overall inflation trend has remained below 3% since January 2024. So they've been beating us on that. Um, in response to the cooling inflation, the Bank of Canada has been proactive in cutting interest rates, which have kept key rate now at 4.5%. This contrasts with the US, where rate cuts are anticipated but have not yet materialized. Canada's earlier and more aggressive rate cuts have contributed to a swifter economic recovery, as evidenced by some improvements in consumer spending and housing market stability. The Bank of Canada is widely expected to cut rates again in September 2024 as the economic conditions continue to warrant further easing to support growth, which is not necessarily great for their money unless you also see U.S. rate cuts. But I kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit because we've seen other countries being able to handle their inflation just a little bit better than the U.S. has been.
Who?
Uh, the, the UK, you have, I'm pretty sure Australia cut at the same time. You have
What do you mean
Canada,
by
obviously.
what do you mean
The
by
just the
handled?
numbers, just the numbers. So sitting at 2.5%, while we've been until recently at over 3% inflation. So the prices growing for them have been cut a lot
Easing faster
faster,
than us?
easing faster than us. Whereas in,
Because that wasn't the case for a while. We
no,
were doing better in inflation than everybody.
yep, where people were
Mm.
seeing 11% and 12%, we were like, yeah, we're chilling at 7, which like still isn't amazing, but when we
I
get
mean,
to
considering we were getting out of a pandemic, I
uh,
mean, where the global economy is shut down, and
yeah,
people think that this stuff is gonna just be turned around at the. No, no, man. You can stop the economy. You can halt the economy quick, but if you close it down for 2 weeks, it's gonna take longer than 2 weeks to get it back on track.
yep,
Because you're talking about shutting down the Titanic, right?
yeah,
And
should
or
take
cruise
about
liner.
should take about 2 months to actually start seeing recovery from a 2 week shutdown.
So imagine an 18-month shutdown.
Yep,
And then you have China going for 2 years with their zero tolerance or whatever it was. Their zero COVID policy. What? Oh gosh. Yeah. I got the Dixie pulled up real quick. Let's see. We've got a few minutes, so
let me
um,
let me swap that over to yours.
I've got the Dixie pulled up over here on the 4 hour. Putting in a little bit of a bull div. Not gonna lie, don't like that. But just because we are inverse correlated most of the time does not mean it will have an effect on us. I mean, look at Dixie. It's been coming down just like we've been coming down. It dumped exactly when we dumped. So um, maybe it getting a bounce will mean we get bounce. I don't know, but we'll see. It's typically not the case. Typically, when the Dixie pumps, Bitcoin and crypto dumps and stocks dump. But I guess we'll just we'll see on that. But we do have this possible bullish divergence here, and we also have this resistance here, previous support. I can hear you vaping.
Yeah, but they can't.
they
Oh,
they they can't.
oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
can.
can't.
I muted the wrong thing.
uh,
uh,
am
am
I
I
coming
coming
in?
in?
I
I
think I
think I
might be
might be
coming in
coming in
through
through
double
double
because
because
I'm
I
coming
coming
in
in
through
through
your
your
headphones
headphones
and
and
through
through
the
the
collab
collab
cam.
cam.
There we go. All right. So we have this previous support, now resistance. So we could look to see the Dixie get its way up here and then honestly, hopefully get rejected and then continue to sliding to the downside. If it continues to slide to the downside, expect risk on assets to continue moving to the upside. Let's go over to the Russell 2000 real quick. I want to take a look at this. Let's go to the daily chart. This is your 2000 small cap stocks in the stock market. Of course, that's why there's stocks. But it's broke out. We were thinking that, all right, we are super risk on now. And then it came falling right back down to the dynamic reactor. This is on the daily chart. So now we're putting in more of a megaphone pattern, which these do tend to break down. So we've got to be mindful and careful with that. Now, what is the relation to crypto? Well, this is the small caps of the stock market. The Russell moving to the upside is a good indication that risk on assets such as crypto will also be following suit, will also be moving to the upside because it signals to the rest of the market that we are in a risk on environment, not risk off. The only thing that's been concerning me with the Russell is these equal lows down here. I know equal lows, equal highs, they love to get swept. And we're starting to put in more of a megaphone pattern instead of that triangle that I was hoping for. Now we did come down and get a back test of that triangle. We are holding it, but if we come back down and if we just fall back into it, then we would at least come back down and probably sweep these lows down here. And then maybe get a retrace and then continue back down to the downside. So that is what we don't want to see. We want to see it break out of this megaphone pattern and come to the upside because that would tell us, okay, risk on assets are ready to go. So that's why I keep an eye on the Russell 2000, and I think you should too. But it is time for us to go. I got to get ready for work. Good show.
I have to do the same. It's about time for me to head out the door.
A couple of blue collar workers over here
Oh yeah.
getting
But
up bright and early, doing a stream, all for you guys. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, helps boost us in the YouTube algorithm. Cannot wait. We've got a couple more days on this channel, then we'll be switching over to Piper on Monday, maybe, hopefully, and then yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to join the Discord in the description. Good morning to all of you. It's beautiful. I love seeing you. Thank you for being here as always. Namaste.
and don't forget to watch Piper at 9:30 Eastern time and the Crypto Nightcap at 8:30 Eastern time. It always messes me up. I'm on Central time. But
Same.
thanks for watching, everyone. It's going to be a great day.
Everybody wake up.
Today's going to be a good day.
There we go.